Welcome to Alphabet City. I'm your guide, Ayaz Akhtar, and you are the most amazing audience in the world. If you want the latest version of Android as soon as possible, the Google Pixel is unbeatable. What if you don't want the Pixel, but you still want the newest version of Android as soon as possible? You should be looking at Nokia, according to a new report by research firm Counterpoint. The company examined cumulative sales since Q3 of 2018 to Q2 of 2019. It found that nearly 96% of Nokia smartphones are already running on Android Pie or had an Android Pie update issued. Counterpoint says Nokia is the fastest brand in issuing the latest software updates, covering 94% of its portfolio within a year of the launch of the latest Android version. Let's talk a little bit about Nokia. You may know them from The Matrix or that meme where the 3310 is tougher than all things. Well, that was the original Nokia that made all kinds of phones. That original Nokia got all buddy-buddy with Microsoft. Under Stephen Elop, Nokia went all in with Windows Phone. You know what? That didn't end too well. Nokia then sold its mobile devices and services to Microsoft. You know what? That didn't end too well either. So, Microsoft sold off part of what it had to HMD Global. HMD's first CEO was at original Nokia for 17 years. Now, Nokia phones run close to pure versions of Android. Generally, Nokia phones run from the low end to mid-range in terms of prices. HMD also released its roadmap for when its phones will get Android 10. Pretty much its entire lineup will get 10 by Q2 of 2020. HMD's chief product officer said, quote, "We are the only manufacturer 100% committed to having the latest Android across the entire portfolio." That's not the full story. Let's go back to the Counterpoint report. In a shocker, the firm said, "We believe that device makers need to step up their efforts to provide regular software and security updates to their users." Wow. In other news, water is wet. An analyst at Counterpoint also explained that high-priced devices are often updated first. Nokia stood out. It would update everything quickly. After Nokia, Samsung was in second with 89% of its phones sold in the time period getting Pi or the Pi update issued. Number 3 was Xiaomi with 84%. Huawei was next with 82%. Then there's a huge drop with Lenovo at number 5. 43% of its devices got Pi or its update issued. So you may be wondering, why do updates take so long to get to my phone? Let's take a look at this Sony infographic from last year showing the process of getting the latest Android to its phones. There are a lot of steps, I'll skip a little bit though. First up, Google releases a new version of Android. The phone maker gets the software and makes sure it works with its hardware. Then the phone maker gets basic functions working like calling and messaging. Here's where stuff can get icky. Step 5, Sonification. In this case, that means adding Sony-specific stuff, like the lock screen, Xperia Assist, and other things. Then there are rounds of testing. After that, the phone manufacturer makes sure it meets tech standards like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And the last thing before launch is customizations for carriers. As you can see, that is a long process. Making sure the software works on every level takes a while. Phones running close to pure versions of Android, like those Nokias, can speed up things by not customizing the software too much, like in that Sonification step. It's this whole process that leads to all kinds of different versions of Android running at one time. Here's a dashboard from Google using data collected during a week in May 2019. Pi was just 10.4%. Compare that to Apple, I know. The company proudly says that 90% of all devices introduced in the last 4 years are using iOS 12. That is remarkable. In case you're thinking, who needs updates? First, congratulations on getting this far in the video not caring about updates. Second, updates usually bring newer features. More importantly, holes are plugged. It's important that your phone remains safe. Anyway, last time we talked about Google's smart speaker woes. Gergo said Google should listen to its users, no pun intended. We have been asking for features like separate music volume, custom or at least a few new trigger words, better YouTube control, play subscriptions, better recommendations for ages. I totally agree. I would love some custom trigger words or phrases. Retethered Tech says Google speakers are still the best smart speakers in my opinion. Google Assistant is still the best smart assistant. I generally share your opinion, but like Gergo said, I think there is definitely room for improvements. Thanks to everyone for writing in. If you've enjoyed your stay in Alphabet City, please like and subscribe. I'm begging you. I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and I'll see you online.